The wealthiest men in the world aren't just lucky or born rich. They follow 30 specific habits that they never talk about publicly. I'm talking about the quiet behaviors that separate men who build generational wealth from men who stay broke forever wondering why success is always just out of reach. While everyone else is chasing get-rich-quick schemes and trying to look successful, maybe even gambling to get a bunch of money, truly wealthy men are following a completely different playbook that most people never see. Today, I'm revealing the 30 habits rich men use to build wealth quietly. These are the invisible behaviors that create visible results, and by the end of this video, you'll understand why some men get rich while others stay stuck regardless of their starting point. And I'm going to be completely honest, some of these might surprise you. But let's start with an obvious one, keeping an emergency fund. Don't get me wrong, keeping an emergency fund is not flashy, and it's not going to add $1 million into your bank account overnight. However, it is a necessity, and it's a major building block when you are young. Because if you are unable to build an emergency fund of 3 to 6 to 9 months worth of expenses just in case you get fired or a medical bill pops up, then how are you ever going to build to $1 million? That might look like $20 to $30 to $40 to $50,000, right? But if you can't save that up, then how are you going to save up $1 million? How are you going to save up $2 million? How are you going to save up $10 million, right? This is the starting point, but if you can get this down, that means you can get the rest down as well. Now, as we progress throughout this video, we're going to get to some very impactful habits. And again, they're all going to be uber important. However, some of these are going to be things you have never heard of before in a finance channel, but they're super important because I've studied some of the best self-made millionaires and they do those things. But we'll get to those a little bit later. Let's move on to number 2, which is having a plan. Oftentimes we think we can motivate ourselves. Go. Like, I just want to chase a bag. I'm going to work super hard. I'm going to wake up early. Boom. But what happens when that motivation plummets? And it will, don't get me wrong. Determination is what's going to drive you, and a part of determination is having a plan. If you do not have a plan, if you do not have goals, if you don't have an achievable way to get those goals, what's going to happen when you wake up unmotivated? You're just going to not do it. You don't have a plan of, I need to wake up every morning and do 100 push-ups. Again, that sounds really stupid because that has nothing to do with money, but having that form of discipline in your life is going to keep you disciplined with your finances. And of course, that 100 push-up example is very arbitrary, right? What this looks like practically is setting like $100 to invest every single day, right? That's a very high goal and maybe for a higher income, but maybe for you today, it's just like investing $10 a day, investing $100 a week, whatever that might look like. If you can get into that habit, get into that plan and keep going, even when things are hard, even when you don't want to invest at 100, you are going to succeed. Again, we rise to our expectations and fall to our systems. And oftentimes we can rise to our expectations, but sometimes we are going to fall. And we want to make sure we're falling to our plan and falling to our systems and not falling to complete mediocrity. Habit number 3 is seeking discomfort. This is really simple. If you want to grow in anything in your life, you need to seek discomfort. If you don't know how to invest, you have to learn how to invest. If you know how to invest but don't want to invest, you have to force yourself to invest. If you want to get into a higher paying career, you might have to do some extra work outside of your 40 hours a week. If you want to make more money, you might have to go to school, get a master's. I don't know what that looks like. If you want to start a side hustle, there's going to be a time period where you probably don't make any money at all. Seek discomfort, and the money will flow with it. Habit number 4 is to ask the dumb questions. This sounds really interesting, right? Why would we want to ask dumb questions? Well, sometimes we feel like our questions are dumb when they really aren't. This goes back to elementary school when your teacher's like, hey, if you have a question, raise your hand because somebody else in this class probably has the same question. Look, I'm not going to lie, that's great advice. Oftentimes we kind of forget that just because we're new at something, that doesn't make us a stupid idiot. That means we're new at something and we have to learn. And the only way you're going to learn is by asking questions, doing research, doing baseline work at a skill that you know nothing about. You're going to have to do that if you want to grow. And so don't be afraid to ask the dumb questions. Habit number 5 is to avoid dumb debt. This sounds really simple, but it's true. You will not be rich if you keep going into bad debt. I'm talking about high interest credit card debt, personal loans that don't matter, car loans that are egregious and make no sense. Man, if you are spending all of that money on things that really don't matter and things that aren't providing any value for you anymore because you already had the value of it, well, then you're completely cooking yourself. If you have high interest credit card debt and you're investing $1,000 a month, none of that matters because all of that high interest debt is literally just taking away from the progress of your investing. So get out of debt, stay out of debt, and don't ever go back into debt for anything. It's really that simple. Habit number 6 is dating with purpose. Again, this sounds very foo-foo-y and arbitrary. However, one of the biggest expenses of young men is taking women on dates, going on dates. And if you're not dating with purpose, then you're really just throwing a bunch of money away. And look, I'm a big proponent for marriage. I'm a big proponent for dating and finding a spouse. I think that's a great thing, and building a family is really worth it. Even though the financial aspects kind of contradict, that is something that is well worth the money. However, if you're not dating with purpose, dating with intent, then you're probably going to be spending a bunch of money on dates that don't matter, dating for multiple years on end, spending so much money on presents, fun dates, vacations maybe even. And if it doesn't work out, then you're wasting a bunch of money on building memories with a person you're trying to forget after you break up. And that's just not a great way to go about things. Date with intention, date with purpose, and you're going to have a way less likely chance of that happening. Habit number 7 is to buy assets instead of flexing. This is called buying a home, buying a good quality car, even buying like nice pieces of clothing that last a while, good appliances in your home. Those types of assets are always going to go much further than getting a depreciating car loan, a fancy watch that really doesn't make a difference in anyone's lives, and really just anything that is going to bring you into debt or bring you into poverty instead of building up assets. Habit number 8 is thinking in the long term. This is obvious when it comes to investing, when it comes to career goals, when it comes to life goals. If you are only ever thinking about next weekend, if you're only ever thinking about next month and next year, you're not going to go anywhere. If you're only chasing a high, doing any stuff like that, you're not going to build wealth. Of course, you might build slight wealth, but you're not going to build it at the rate that other people will. And so if you want to get rich and get rich faster, you have to be planning to do that at a young age, putting hardcore effort in that at a young age. And over time, that's going to grow and grow and grow. And in the long term, you're going to be really, really wealthy. Habit number 9 is to speak less and listen more. Again, this sounds really foo-foo-y and arbitrary, and I get that. However, this is the key to learning. Listening. The more you speak, the more likely you're going to say something arrogant, the more likely you're going to say something you regret. And oftentimes it's okay to talk. It's okay to communicate in conversations. However, sit back, learn from other people. What are they saying? And maybe it's not factual information, but you're like, wow, this guy is coming off like a complete arrogant loser. Am I speaking like that as well? Am I communicating like that to other people? And then again, maybe it's not a conversation that you're enjoying, but it's something that you can still learn from. But overall, don't overthink communication. It's really never that deep. However, just sit back, relax, take things in, see how other people are talking, and maybe sometimes they will give you some great information as well. Habit number 10 is to keep a high value circle. What does this even mean? This is called having good friends, dating the right girls, having good mentors in your life, right? All of those things. I feel like this culture of men thinks they have to do everything on their own, and it's good to have accountability, it's good to have determination, it's good to have those things as well for your personal life. However, making sure that you have good friends as well is great because you can learn from them. They can keep you accountable. They can be there for you when things go hard. And that goes for spouses and mentors as well. What you don't want is a bunch of buddies that just get drunk and high and never do anything with their lives and they just rot, right? That's not a good thing. But having good friends can really build you up. Habit number 11 is finishing what you start. This is a big deal, right? I feel like we are in a generation as well of soft people who quit. It's okay to quit when it doesn't make any logical sense to continue. Don't keep investing in crypto. Don't keep gambling, trying to get a big hit, right? Those things are fine to quit. Don't chase a career path that leads to nothing at all, right? No financial stability, right? But if you have something and you think it's going to be great, go out and chase it. And if you chase it so hard that you just finally realize it's not going to work, then maybe you can pivot a little bit, but don't fully quit, right? Things are going to be hard. The grass is always greener on the other side, so don't give up and don't quit. Habit number 12 is they don't waste time. This is a big deal, especially in our generation. We have people wasting weekends, going to clubs, doing nothing. We have people wasting years of their lives dating girls that literally are just gold diggers. We have that going on. We have people wasting a couple hours a day scrolling Instagram Reels. If you're able to cut out all of those individual time sinks, you're going to have so much more time in your life, and all of that time is going to compound into something great. Whether it's monetary or not, it will compound into something great, assuming you're using that time wisely. So don't waste time. Habit number 13 is taking action imperfectly. I don't read a lot of books, but one of the books I did read that I would recommend to a lot of people watching this video is Chasing Failure. Now, it sounds very arbitrary. Why would I want to chase failure? Well, chasing failure is actually one of the best ways to get to success, which is the whole premise of the book. Because what ends up happening is when we chase failure, we just chase something and maybe it's going to fail and maybe we're going to look like an idiot, but that's okay because we're going to learn something, we're going to do something great, and that's amazing. So if we chase failure to the point where we can succeed, then that's really, really good. Because if we just get in this frame that we have to succeed, we're going to be stagnant, we're not going to make moves, we're not going to fail, and we're not going to learn. And inherently, we're not going to get better at the thing we want to get better at, whether it's investing, a business, our jobs, anything like that, right? We're just not going to get better. So it's not good. Habit number 14 is not seeking approval. Look, I'm not going to talk about this for long at all. If you want approval from others, you're never going to be successful, because oftentimes people aren't going to give you approval until you are successful. And even when you do become successful, you're not probably going to get as much approval as you think you are, because people are just going to be jealous, they're going to be mad, they're going to think you got lucky, and so you're not even going to get the acknowledgement for your hard work anyways. So be content working for yourself, be content working for the people who really care about you, and that's all you really need in this life. Habit number 15 is to keep your word always. This sounds, again, really foo-foo-y, but if you really want to make your boss mad, if you really want to make people around you mad, your friends mad, don't keep your word. Don't show up to things on time. Don't cover expenses you promised you would. Don't make promises you can't keep. It's really that simple. If you keep your word and you're trustworthy, you're going to have a much better network of people, much better connections, and much better friendships, which are overall just going to improve your life and your finances. Habit number 16 is to set boundaries without guilt. This is a big deal. Oftentimes people can't set boundaries for their lives, and in return people drain their lives for them, right? If you aren't setting boundaries, if you aren't making decisions on what you actually want to do with your life, and you're letting other people just fill in, tell you what to do, it just doesn't go well. Set boundaries. Don't feel guilty about it, because it's your life at the end of the day, and you don't need other people living it for you. Habit number 17 is being able to accept criticism without ego. This is a big deal. I see this a lot. People get criticized and automatically they get into defensive mode. They're like, no, I'm not stupid, I'm not an idiot, I know what I'm doing. And oftentimes, shoot, they might be right. However, even a little bit of criticism, when it comes with a sense of just hate, like you don't know what you're doing, you're not doing what you're doing, like, sure, you might know what you're doing and that person might not be smart, but there might be some truth in what they're saying as well. Even if a comment is 95% shenanigans, that means nothing to you, but it's 5% value that you can take and be like, oh, maybe I'm not doing this thing as well as I can, and you're able to learn and adapt from that. That is a great skill to have. Habit number 18 is studying the winners closely. If you want to learn how to be a great three-point shooter, you're going to go to Steph Curry and tell him, hey, how can I shoot threes, right? And oftentimes we don't have access to Steph Curry, but we can still learn from his game by his form and whatever. If you want to be a great YouTuber, you're going to go to Mr. Beast, because he's become the greatest YouTuber ever and has just built an absolute empire, right? If you want to be a better investor, you're going to go to Warren Buffett, Charlie Munger, stuff like that. So whatever it is in your life, whether it's investing, whether it's starting a business, whether it's becoming better in a certain field like software engineering or personal finance like financial advisor, or maybe it's becoming a better chef. I don't know. Like, go to the people who have done it and have been successful and learn from them, because that's the best way to learn. It's not to fail on your own, but to fail through others. Habit number 19 is removing energy drains. This is really simple. This is called people who suck your time, doing things that don't really add value to your life. I see this a lot. It can be like oh, hey, let's just go shopping, bro, on the weekend. And it's 5 hours of shopping. You both buy nothing, but you just do a bunch of window shopping. And sure, maybe you're having good conversations throughout it, but at the end of the day, it's still a waste of 5 hours because you really haven't done anything productive with your day. Look, I'm not saying you can have fun, you can't go out and have fun at all, but make sure you're doing it smart and doing it wisely, and don't just like, oh, I have nothing else to do, let me do this other thing instead of going to work, right? It's that simple. Habit number 20 is cutting excuses instantly. I can't do this, I'm too dumb, I won't be able to figure that out, other people are just more smart than me, they have more resources than me, their parents are rich. Man, shut up, cut the bull crap, and get to work. Not everybody was handed everything in their lives. We all live in a world where we're giving advantages and disadvantages. Leverage your advantages to the best of your abilities. If you have few, then that's just life. And go after your disadvantages and fix them. It's that simple. We have control over our lives, so let's go out and take accountability for it. It's that simple. Habit number 21 is using money as a tool. Look, if I give you $100, you can do a lot of things with that $100. Shoot, you could just straight up throw it in the stock market and that would be cool. You can spend it on a course doing something that makes you better at your career field. that's a great investment. Or you can take it and spend it all on drugs and alcohol, get high, get drunk, waste time, and then you waste your time, and then you also waste that $100 I gave you, right? Don't squander the resources that you earn. Use it to your advantage. Make your life better. It's that simple. Habit number 22 is limiting social media consumption. There's nothing really that great that comes out of social media, unless you're actively looking for a YouTube video to increase your finances, like the one you're watching right now, or maybe you're watching Alex Hormozy, Dave Ramsey, somebody like that. I don't know, really anything out there that's gonna benefit you mentally, that's fine. But if you're just mindlessly scrolling brain rot on TikTok or Instagram Reels or YouTube Shorts, then hey, what are we doing? How are we spending your time, right? And don't get me wrong, I suffer this a little bit as well because I just have these apps on my phone. However, make sure you're just not wasting an entire day doing nothing that you're gonna remember, right? It's really that simple. Habit number 23 is staying focused on the mission. This can apply itself in a lot of different ways. It can be sticking to the plan that you set for yourself. It can be remembering why you're doing a certain thing. This can look like, oh, I'm going to start a YouTube channel making Minecraft videos. And then all of a sudden you're like, oh, I want to make Call of Duty videos. And then all of a sudden I want to make GTA videos. Then all of a sudden I want to make drop shipping videos, right? No, pick a plan, stick to that path and go after it. Because a lot of the time we get this grass is greener on the other side. I can make more money doing a certain thing. But if you pick a skill and you continue to grow and get better at it, become the top 1% of your field, you're going to make more money than being a bottom 30% at a field that pays more, right? Makes good sense. Habit number 24 is to avoid vices. I've talked about this a lot. Gambling, drugs, alcohol. Again, I've had comments on my videos where people are like, hey man, I budget well and then I buy weed and I get high, and I'm still budget well. I'm still responsible with my money. That's my one vice. That's my one thing. Look, I'm not going to come at you for that, but I'm also not going to approve of that lifestyle either, right? You can do that with your money as long as you're being smart with the rest of it, but you also have to realize, hey, that money is not going to the best things possible. It costs a lot of money to do those things, and so you want to make sure that, hey, is that what you want? If that's what you want, look, that's fine, but I'm just saying you're not going to be the best of your best if you are spending your money on those things instead of reinvesting in yourself or just reinvesting into your future. Habit number 25 is continuing to learn. Look, the easiest way to fall off is to stop learning. Continue to learn how to invest, how mortgages work, how cars work, how any of those things work, how marriage is going to affect your life with your finances. All of those things make a big difference in the long run, so continue to learn. Habit number 26 is to plan your week out every Sunday. Look, it doesn't have to be Sunday. It could be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. It really does not matter. Plan your days out, plan your week out, because you want to make sure that you're maximizing the amount of time in your day. It doesn't have to be a super strict schedule, but just have a general idea of what each day is going to look like. Habit number 27 is focusing on earning and not saving only. I've talked about this before in the past, but your biggest wealth building tool will always be your income. It makes saving easier, it makes investing easier, it makes really everything to do with money easier if you can raise your income. Again, it sounds really easy to just raise your income, but pick up overtime, work harder, and make your bosses notice. Start a side hustle, try to become an entrepreneur. All of those things are ways that you can increase your income, and so try to go and do those things. Habit number 28 is practice saying no. It sounds really, really silly, but it does make a big deal. We live in a culture of yes, I'll do that, I'll spend money on that. No, be willing to stand by your values, stand your ground. If you don't actually want to buy something, don't buy it. If you don't want to go to an expensive concert, don't go to it. If you don't want to take a certain job, don't take it. Be willing to say no. Habit number 29 is turning failure into feedback fast. I talked about this a lot earlier with chasing failure, but if we aren't learning anything from our failure, then what are we really doing, right? Make sure that when you fail, you take that feedback back and be like, okay, I'm never going to do that thing again. I'm going to do this different. I'm going to try to improve this next time, right? Those things make a big difference. And habit number 30 is to keep an environment distraction free. This looks like a lot of different things, but don't give room for your emotions to take over. Make sure that you're continuing to work hard, building discipline, and building towards your future goals. If you enjoyed these 30 habits, consider subscribing to the channel, and consider checking out another video of mine on your screen right now.